Welcome back to another video, Grumpy Dad YouTube page. For those who are new, because y'all gonna see my clickbait, if I try that, welcome to my channel. Yes, I have the worst set of production values that are on YouTube today. And I keep saying next week I'll fix it. And I've been saying that since July of 2023. So welcome to another video. For those who are new, welcome also. Please like this video, just like every other YouTuber says, because liking this with the YouTube game that YouTube plays, you hitting that thumbs up, taking 1 second right now, thumbs up. You're not saying you approve of my horrible production values that can't even capture my fancy Grumpy Dad hat correctly. You are supporting Wingbits and GEODNET with this, about this announcement. You are supporting Wingbits. You're supporting GEODNET by hitting that thumbs up, because YouTube pushes that algorithm out, pushes this video out to anybody who might be talking to a friend about Wingbits or GEODNET or passive income or anything else I got flagged in here. You know, we can pretend like this stuff doesn't hear us, but we all know that game that you might be talking about something and all of a sudden it shows up on your phone, Facebook, social media, Instagram feed or something like that. So hitting that thumbs up really helps out, and I appreciate it. We got a great announcement. And for those who caught my normal, usually Monday video, but it happened to be Tuesday yesterday video, Wingbits had just come out with a fresh announcement. I didn't really get a deep dive into it. I didn't want to waste that video yesterday on that, because that's already a long video. So today is the deep dive, as deep as my fat rear end could get into the hole. But deep dive into this. There's still a lot of stuff that's still pending and still stuff we're trying to figure out. But I did take some notes. I do have some information, and we're going to go over what this means for Wingbits, GEODNET. But either way, a quick summary, it's going to be great. To me, it legitimizes the Wingbits project. We know GEODNET's legitimate. We've seen what they're doing. We know that they got companies involved with them. That's why they're doing those bursts on the maps and stuff like that give you added rewards. I'm in GEODNET already. Also, I have a miner on my roof right here, and possibly would think I might get another one day. But now with Wingbits, y'all know I'm a huge supporter of Wingbits. That's why they're on the hat, my hat that Bitharvest made. And I got a little special announcement, a little something from Bitharvest later in this video also. So they're going to be part of this also. But for right now, to me, this legitimizes Wingbits side, because Wingbits hasn't, they're still a new project. They're not even on mainnet yet. So these still have to establish themselves. Well, how else do you establish themselves? But then when you partner up with a company that is fully established, like GEODNET is, something that we know is a legitimate company. GEODNET is not going to go deal with a company that's not going to dox themselves or has any kind of shady practices or lies or that they can't prove or anything like that. We know Wingbits. We see the AMAs. Y'all know, if y'all follow this channel at all, I am huge on AMAs. I'm huge on projects that dox themselves. And we know what these guys look like. We've seen them on the AMAs. We've seen them on the videos and stuff. They've agreed to do an AMA with me. Again, not that I want to repeat everything I talked about in my video yesterday, but I'm still trying to build my super duper computer at home. And when I can do that computer with a real studio, I want to give those guys in their business justice and not this goofy green screen stuff. So that's going to be coming. But I can't wait to really interview those guys, to ask them the grumpy answers, grumpy questions and stuff like that. But let's start digging into this video so we can talk about how great this announcement is for everybody. So we have two companies right now that have come together with a partnership, and I think it's going to be huge. So most of y'all who are following my channel know I've been involved with Wingbits. I arguably say I probably was one of the first few miners that were there. At least I know when I got into it and you could see a map, there was hardly any stations in the United States. So I know I've been involved in it well over a year with at least one station. And then once I knew and I could see that they're progressing and how real they were going to be and how they operated and how they practiced, how they ran their Discord and stuff. I knew that this was something I had to put a lot of effort into. And I currently have 14 bring my own devices, whether they are Pis, old Helium devices that I converted, or even some little potatoes, or now I'm using sweet potatoes also because they are relatively cheaper than what a Pi would cost. Pi 4, especially when at one time we couldn't get Pi 4s. Now people are using Pi 5s and stuff. So I currently have 13 of 14 of those devices, but I also have several friends that I have turned on to it, family members also, and I'm probably managing over 30 devices right now on Wingbits for friends. I've also been called, self-appointed myself, the godfather of the Gulf, because I am basically now covering the whole Gulf of Mexico. And this is the Wingbits website. If y'all haven't been there before, it's wingbits.com. If y'all need to go learn anything about Wingbits. So just so I can kind of show people, I kind of know what I'm talking about just a little bit with this Wingbits thing. You can see I have a couple of stations here. Got a host station up here, and I have host stations set up on both sides of the Gulf. And that basically gives me coverage from the entire Gulf of Mexico. So that's why I have deemed myself the godfather of the Gulf. In case you'll ever hear that joke, it's just a joke. Nobody get their feelings hurt. But I have a couple of stations, as y'all can tell, down here in Louisiana. I recently just had to take this station down because a friend's moving, but that gave me coverage down here. But with him moving in that same general area, I'm going about 40 feet higher. I'm hoping I can cover halfway to Cuba, if not further. So yes, I'm familiar with the Wingbit side of it. I am also familiar with the GEODNET side of it. GEODNET is a very, very rough overview of what GEODNET is. Currently, right now, if you try to use a GPS, say on your phone, your regular GPS on certain trackers and stuff like that, I use them for hunting, use them for fishing. Sometimes it could be as much as 12 to 20 feet, out 6 to 9, 10 meters out from where you're actually standing at, where using a service like GEODNET, these people can dial that into centimeters. That's good for like around here. There's a lot of farming and stuff like that. I know that these tractors use a service like this because you don't want that tractor that's trying to keep this straight line going off by 5, 6, 10 feet or meters. Centimeters it can handle. So that's what GEODNET offers. But GEODNET has really, really established themselves, like a lot of these projects have, on the, I call it across the pond, but in the UK. And you look at all these GEODNET devices that they have over there. So you can tell this is a very well-established company. And this is also growing. Every time I come here, I'm seeing more and more stations. But you see all these little blue blurbs and stuff like that. What this is actually local customers who, and I don't know exactly how the deal works, so nobody come and attack me. But from what I understand about it is, there's some type of company or service in these areas who really want that centimeter precise geolocations. So therefore, GEODNET offers a enhanced or an added bonus. It could be up to 4x of the geo tokens if you for staking, and I think it's about 2x if you actually put a GEODNET device here in one of those areas. So at one time, Baton Rouge was one of these super hexes, and when I discussed putting something there, all of a sudden 2 of them pop up. But this is mine right here, so you can tell that I do have one. And, I had a lot of Wi-Fi issues with mine at first. I've fixed them, and, it's been online now for 35 days. I'm doing pretty well. I think it makes about $3 to $5 a day. But my point of that is I am familiar with the GEODNET side of it also. One thing with both of these services is they have hexes that you have to put your device in. And GEODNET's a little bit different than Wingbits. GEODNET, I'm pretty sure that, I only have one device, so I've always only been worried about one device. But the first device can get the most rewards, and if somebody tries to put one in there later, in your same hex, they're getting less rewards, which I think that's how it should be. And Wingbits does theirs a little bit differently. Wingbits is you have what's called a Res 3 hex or resolution 3 hex. So basically, if you look, in a certain area, any planes that come in here, you are going to split that difference. That's for on the reward side. You can see how big this is, like from Houston all the way down here to wherever this is, Port Lavaca. Okay, that's how big that is for reward. However, when you come to that same area, they use Res 6 or resolution 6 down to where you can place a device. So where we saw earlier, this Port Lavaca to almost to Houston, that's how big one Res 3 is. You can see how small the Res 6s are. I like this. I like this. I guess it's easy for me to say I like this because I'm was one of the first people who put devices, some of these devices, not all my devices. But if somebody puts one here in Lake Jackson, if you live in this general area, you cannot put another device. So you don't have to worry about the helium problem of there all of a sudden being 67 devices downtown in the city. So I kind of like that. Why do I go over that also is because from what I'm understanding, nothing will change with this new collaboration between Wingbits and GEODNET. But one thing I am told is that what will change with this is when you go on the store, whatever store is set up to buy these new devices, and what we're going to talk about, there's a little bit difference with the hex. So let's get into exactly what's going on right now. First, we look at GEODNET's Discord. GEODNET, I hate to tell you that, but my hat's better. I guess with this collaboration, I'm gonna have to fit in a GEODNET, maybe right here. So either way, so GEODNET has announced, Wingbits also, they are announcing a partnership to develop a revolutionary new generation of flight tracking infrastructure, including the dual mining devices doing Geo, which is GEODNET's token, and Wingbits. DPIN projects are holding hands to grow and create more and more real life value. So this is a huge, huge thing. Now, Wingbits also kind of did the same thing. They announced that they have a partnership with the GEODNET Foundation to develop professional grade flight tracking nodes. Collaboration is a huge step forward in creating a reliable, trusted ADSB and remote ID tracking data, shaping the flight of flight tracking. The ADSB standard is vital for modern air traffic monitoring and BVLOS drone operations. I want to make sure I get that right. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if a lot of y'all know what I do full time. I'm not going to really go into detail with that because it's unfortunately the world we live in today. I don't want to have to hear, some people's comments because I've had comments on before. But I will say public safety is part of it. IT is part of it. RF is part of it. And I have been going to seminars and stuff about drones and this BVLOS coming. That's how, I don't even want to go into my aspect of what transpired last year, but that's why I knew that there was a need for this type of service. I might have picked the wrong project in the beginning, but now I'm aligned with the right project, and now they are aligning themselves with a better project with GEODNET. It's all lining up. BVLOS is a big thing that is coming online now, beyond visual line of sight. In the past, if you were driving or you were operating a drone, you had to maintain LOS on that at all times, line of sight. You couldn't sit in your house, or you couldn't sit even in front of your house and go 4 or 5 streets over where you couldn't see it no more, or you couldn't use it for deliveries or anything like that. You had to maintain line of sight. Well, now is BVLOS, beyond visual line of sight. But with that, there are new requirements, and you have to have ways of tracking it, and other, whether it's agencies or infrastructures, have to be able to way to track if any of those drones are now coming into their area. There is a need for this. I will say this too, disclosure, because I don't want nobody going back in any of my previous videos and making any comments. I've made comments in the past that there are other companies that are also looking into this. There are companies right now that do drone detection. We have places right here that do drone detection. It is different. It's not this BVLOS. Basically, the drone detection now that some are doing is they know that DJI might be the majority of the drones, so they're looking for DJI frequencies. If there's something that happens with DJI, or if people go change those frequencies or anything like that, those certain drone detection systems are paperweight. So there is a market for this, and Wingbits and now GEODNET is going to be part of that. So I understand that there's a need for this, that this is coming, and y'all are, everybody basically, depending on what part of the world you're in, this is all going to affect everybody. You will see at some point, we've already started hearing and seeing about it. Amazon dropping packages off. Hey, you need McDonald's? McDonald's is dropping it off to you with a drone. And that's all going to be beyond visual line of sight. So I'm excited to be part of a program that could be involved in that. As part of the competition with that. Yes, there's going to be other companies that do it, but we know that Wingbits, GEODNET are teaming up to be part of this. So their nodes will be available for purchase October 1st, 2024. What's the nodes going to look like? Well, I never was a detective, but I know how to point out clues. Now, I could be grasping at straws. I don't officially know anything. But this doesn't really look like an AI-generated type of device to me. Now, I don't think the antenna is going to be installed on top of it, but it might be. It might be made for an outdoor type thing, but I think you're pretty much looking at what this device is going to look like. Again, I don't know if the antenna is going to be installed on top of it, or that's just, hey, we just happen to this is the antenna that's coming with it, and this is the device. But we know GEODNET is using that type of shaped antenna right now. GEODNET's currently using this a round shaped dome almost pointing straight up, because that's the way the the satellites are. At least I hope they're in that direction. So we know that that's what that device is going to look like, and we also know what a normal, and we know that this is what the antenna for Wingbits looks like. I did a lot of testing, and I don't want to really rehash this in this video. It's not what this video is for. But I have did a lot of testing with homemade antennas and a lot of different brand antennas since last year on this. And this is the one. And trust me, I have purchased it more than 12 times, because I don't know why it says that when I have way more than 12 stations. Some of them are the other ones that I tested out. But either way, this is also a 978 megahertz antenna, which some of this BVLOS stuff is going to be on that 978 frequency from what I'm reading. So if you've been watching Grumpy's videos and using Grumpy's links in the description and buying the correct antenna, instead of, I've did videos before on some people just wanting to go buy their own and then complaining it didn't work right or trying to reinvent the wheel. If you've been buying antenna that I've been telling you for these other stations, like your own personal station, those stations will be ready if those stations can do the 978 portion of it. That's one reason why we also recommended this antenna. Some of these antennas are only 1090. So hopefully y'all been buying the right one. If y'all want this one, if y'all in the United States, the link is in my description. There'll be a link for a bunch of Wingbit stuff. If you are across the pond in the UK, I understand that Pi Hut is a very good company. I have not personally used them, but I've helped some of these guys in Africa who have set up these devices. And Pi Hut is shipping in the same week. They're receiving everything they need for personal stations with Pi Hut, including the antennas that have had some great results. So just in case y'all had me look at that. But going back to what I was saying is, when you look at this antenna, this is the antenna that Wingbits uses. So you go back and look at this. I can see that being an all-in-one device. I can see that being a sealed top. But we see it, we put antennas on top of cars and stuff and on top of buildings sealed. I could see this being some type of sealed top on this. You look at what Chirp has right now. Chirp has where the antenna screws in. You look at what some of the Helium boxes look like. The antenna screws into the top. If it's installed correctly, it's not going to leak. You know, I'm sure it's going to be warranted. Just assuming. This is all just assumptions on me. But they have on here that they anticipate the nodes will be available for purchase by October 1st, 2024. Again, this is Grumpy saying this. Please do not go back to Wingbits and say, Grumpy said this, because that's how y'all get me in trouble. And then I can't talk about stuff like this. I am not endorsed by Wingbits. I'm sure that sometimes they wish they can disown me. I don't work for them. I'm not paid for them. I'm not receiving anything for free. Hint. I'm always open to the idea. I'd like to have one of these fancy devices and go test it out for y'all. But anyway, I would have to think that there's a possibility this might be close to what we're going to be looking at here, because again, you're talking about 3.5 weeks away. So this thing has to be designed and started to be put together already. Now, for those who missed my previous videos, who still continue to ask questions in the Discord, y'all don't have to keep asking. As of right now, during this video, today is September 4th, 4:54 p.m. Central Time. If you still want to do your own Wingbits ADSB station, there are approximately, I'm going to say approximately 200 spots left, is the number I saw earlier, approximately. This announcement right here was from August 29th. August 29th, they said they had 300. So I got in trouble for kind of estimating how long it could be. If there's a big push, if a lot of these people from GEODNET are coming, that 200 could dry up very quickly. My point I'm trying to get is, if you want to do a self-built station for the ADSB side of this, you need to get off your can and you need to start ordering the stuff and get it done now. If you need help, you can contact me. I'll help you out on the Discord in Wingbits. You can go to set up discussion if you have questions or anything like that. I basically have a links in, yes, and I'm gonna tell y'all right now, because some people want to attack me for it, like as if my 27 cents is gonna feed me a French fry from McDonald's. Yes, my links in Amazon do support this channel. Again, 27 to 30 cents, maybe a link, depending on what you purchase. God forbid, there's not that many people purchasing stuff. But I like to say that because one time somebody, or more than one, somebody attacked me because I'm not disclosing that if I tell y'all go click the links, that I'm getting paid something for it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not doing anything different than majority of any other YouTube is doing. Either way, I have links in the description below on basically everything you need to get this done. The only difference is now you have to get a GeoSigner dongle if you haven't had a device set up by this August or early August date. GeoSigner device is only be $50. So what a GeoSigner device is to make sure you're not scamming or anything like that. That you're not gaming the system. That where you said your device is going to be there. You have to use theirs because it's going to be some kind of cryptography type chip in it that it knows it's you. So you have to use theirs. But there are about 200 stations or so, somewhere around that. So yes, right now, please quit asking in the Discord. Please quit asking in tickets, because they're making a comment about that. You don't need to keep asking about it. They're going to announce when it's close to being done. Don't keep putting this off. Again, you can do a station for, I'm gonna say $100 American. Maybe a little bit more. You can get a little potato or a sweet potato now for $35 on Amazon. The SDR that we talk about, one of the blue SDRs with the amp and stuff, you can get that for about $35, $40. And then you just saw the antenna for like $44 and maybe some feed line in between it. You might need that. That's what it costs. And then eventually you're gonna need a $50 GeoSigner thing. So yeah, is it free to get into it? No. You have to provide a little bit of that stuff. Or you can just wait to order one of these. If this is what it looks like. So one thing we need to go over is that there will be 2 devices at first that come online with this. Or the first device will be, there's 2 different versions. There'll be a Wingbits only monitor that will be just doing ADSB and drone receiving. That will be the first one. Then there'll be another one that will be a GeoDNet Wingbits dual miner, ADSB drone, and GeoDNet. I suspect, again, I don't know this for sure, but I still say that picture is awfully detailed, even though it's kind of grainy, is awfully detailed for something that should be getting released in less than 30 days. So I would have to think that that's close. I don't know if, but eventually also, they're hoping that they will also be releasing a ADSB only device for anybody who might not be worried about drone tracking. Maybe it'd be a little bit, I don't use the word cheaper, I like to use the word less expensive. And people might not be able to do GeoDNet stuff. I've seen questions really being asked in Discord, to be honest. I like to look at stuff from both sides. Yeah, people who are asking questions about, well, if I'm living already in this hex, I know that but this is on the GeoDNet aspect of stuff. I know there's somebody with a GeoDNet in my hex. I know my rewards won't be as much. What if I don't want to mess with GeoDNet? Well, you don't have to. This is a great partnership, a great synergy. But if you only want to do a Wingbits only device to do the ADSB drone, you can. That option is going to be there. And eventually, an option that will only be ADSB only if you want to go that route. Right now, I'm making $3-something. None of this is financial advice. None of this entire video is financial advice. If you're watching YouTube, you should automatically know that. YouTubers shouldn't have to say that. But anyway, but right now I'm making $3-4. Some people making more than that if I can keep my device consistently online. But I'm making that right now on GeoDNet. So, if you're making decent rewards, why wouldn't you go this route? Again, you got a bull market possibly coming up. I tell everybody in my channel I don't discuss politics at all because I lose subscribers no matter what side. I can say I'm voting for Roseanne Barr and I'm gonna lose subscribers. But what I will say is I don't think this is Grumpy's opinion only. Not that y'all came here for TA, but I don't think a bull run's really going to take off until after this election stuff gets resolved. After the election's done, people get sworn in. So I still say December or January is when you're going to see this. Either way, you don't know what these tokens are going to be worth. I've also said that any projects that are coming out right now, this is the perfect time to be going to mainnet. You're right before the bull cycle. People can accumulate some. I wouldn't want to do this on the end of a bull cycle where stuff's going down. So this is the perfect timing, the perfect recipe, the perfect storm, whatever you want to call it, for these projects to collaborate and do what they're doing. That's my opinion, only my opinion, but that's what y'all come here for. We had been hearing over and over that that Wingbits was looking at a team, looking for somebody to do that. Wingbits wanted, because that's what their customers were looking for, that they were trying to go after their business, that they wanted to have something a little more, I guess, robust or a little more sure than just only bring your own devices like we're doing. So we knew Wingbits was looking for an option to have somebody manufacture Wingbits devices or ADSB devices. We talked about that, and we knew that Wingbits said that they were not going to try to build this themselves. You're not going to have Axie or any of these guys in their garage trying to build this stuff. They were looking for a company, and teaming up with GeoDNet solves that. GeoDNet has a fantastic hardware team with the capabilities. GeoDNet, I'm reading this right here, all the time, aim to create a high-end network that excels in accuracy, security, protecting community from cheaters, spoofers, while offering a more reliable, secure product for their customers. So they're hoping that they'll be able to capture a massive market share, benefiting the whole community. Building this network will advance devices. We can outperform current providers, like I was just talking about, on almost every metric. I was just saying that. While Wingbits does need more coverage to get there, once they do, it will be the largest network in the world, both in terms of coverage and revenue. The current network in the US generates over 100 million per year selling data, despite having far lower quality than what they currently offer. So look, I'm gonna tell you now, Wingbits has been behind the scenes doing a lot of work. They might not be telling y'all that, they might be staying modest, but I've been chit-chatting a lot with them behind the scenes, and there's times where they say, like we're telling you this, but don't really say too much. And I'm not gonna really say what was discussed. I can just tell you that I know that what they've been doing, what's going on. And I don't know exactly what's been going on. My point is, I know they're not just sitting at at home watching soccer, football, baseball. I know that they've been working. We know who these people are. We know who GEODNET's team is. This is going to be a good thing. And one thing I've also kind of researched is, I think some of us get confused. And listen, I got confused a lot early. I mean, like last year, discussing this type of stuff too, is I think when we think drones, we're also thinking all the time of the little drones that you've heard some of the horror stories of them spying on people in their bathing suits and bikinis in the backyard and stuff like that. And a lot of this stuff is also for larger drones, though. The stuff with the drone detection. And while that might not be a big thing right now in the year of 2024, if you don't think that's coming more on a commercial thing, these larger drones doing deliveries, little bitty drones that can carry a McDonald's cup right now, can't carry some of the other stuff. We have right here, I work on the Mississippi River, along the Mississippi River. There is a drone service that will deliver stuff to these people on the boats. They don't want to get off the boats. They're allowed to be on the river. They're coming from different countries doing deliveries and stuff like that. So they can't get off the boat or the ship, freight line, or whatever you want to call it. So this was one of the $1 million ideas that I can't believe Grumpy didn't think of, but they're in Cajun country. They want Cajun food. Beignets, donuts. That is what one of the main things this service, from what I'm read and what I was told, they're getting delivered. They're also getting delivered iPhones when their iPhone breaks or falls overboard. They're getting phones delivered to them. They're getting some basic toiletry stuff sometimes. And somebody checks out whatever's being delivered. They check it to make sure there's security reasons. And then they fly it to the ship that's in the dock in the middle of the Mississippi River. But that's the kind of stuff that needs to be detected. And that's what the future is that we're coming to. And, you know, I don't know what police officers are going to do when they have to start working crashes of two drones that ran into each other. It's coming. The day's coming. And, you know, as a father and as an old man who's grumpy, I fear what happens when two drones hit each other and fall out the sky and kids are playing underneath it. You know, that's just me in my old age of grumpiness. You know, this was 20 years ago. I've been like, let's go race some drones. But I'm rambling on. I have a horrible problem with that in my videos. So I kind of hope that answered all the questions we got. One thing I do talk about is third-party providers also, if you have devices. I have discussed them before on my videos plenty of times. Again, you see who the hat came from, and it came from Bitharvest Studios. And Bitharvest Studios sent, and they basically gave me the choice of when I wanted to do it, but gave me some prizes, if you want to call that, for giveaways and stuff like that. And in the past, Grumpy has always offloaded his older cards like this, the SDRs, which, depending on what project you're working on, these are very good. These are very wide band. For those who don't know, I have a ham license. Also, please, while it reminds me, please go check out my other channel, Grumpy Dad Outdoors. There's a link for it in the description. It is struggling really bad. If y'all can just go over there and just hit the subscribe button, I'd appreciate it. Got some ham stuff over there. Also some cooking videos. Also outdoor videos, even though I need to get outdoors more because life's just been crazy. But I was giving these away. These will do like for ham stuff like APRS and like ship tracking and different things like that. But one of my very good stations actually has one of these with a separate LNA amp and a separate filter on it, and it does very well. Very well. But if you want one like this, and the one that they sent actually has a little radiator on it, but this one already has the filter and the LNA amp in it already. So I'm giving one of these away. And while I got it right here and I'm sick of looking at it, I'll give you this away too, to different people. I also have a 1090 SAW filter. If anybody is using one like this, or they are in an area that has a lot of RF and they're seeing some type of issue. So all I need you to do is go on to the Twitter or X now for the Grumpy Dad, GEODNET, Wingbits, and Bitharvest Studios, and I need you to follow all 4 of them. Email me. My email is in the description below. You email me what your Twitter handle is. I'm going to play detective. I'm going to verify that you, if I could even do that, I can do that. I just want to make sure I can do that on the editor. You tell me what your Twitter handle is. I will go verify that you've liked all 4 of those. You have to share this announcement about Wingbits and GEODNET. So that's a couple of things. I'm sorry. I'm not going to make this super duper easy for you. It'll be all right. How's this? This is some easy instructions you can jot down. Step 1, you go to the Twitter, X, whatever. You make sure you follow Wingbits, Grumpy's page. That's me. Right here. Look. Grumpy Dad 56. GeoDNet's and Bitharvest's pages. You just hit the follow button. On Wingbits' Twitter, X, whatever, you share the announcement so everybody can see it. You like it, share it. I guess I need to put that in there. How about that? Share, like the announcement on X from Wingbits about this merger with GeoDNet, this partnership. You share, like the post that I'm going to do. By the time that I upload this video for y'all, it should be posted on X. Share and like the post. Share the post, like it. You know what I mean. Also, you go to Discord, you join Bitharvest and Wingbits. You can find their links to Discord on their websites. I know it's a couple of steps, but hey, we got to make it somewhat worthwhile. You know, again, this is the real deals. This is the same real deals. This is the same one that I'm using now that I have a link in below from Amazon. This is them. I don't use the green ones no more. If you've ever caught my previous videos, I'm having too many issues with them failing between the heat, with lightning, with static electricity problems. This is what I'm using, the hard metal ones. If you read everybody in Discord, they all suggest the hard metal ones. I'm too lazy to do it. These guys put the heat radiator on it. It's 100 degrees right now down here. If you also want with this, if you need an additional SAW filter, hey, if you already have one of these and just want a SAW filter, let me know. If you want an all-range one, let me know. I'm giving away, I have 2 blue ones to give away, 2 filters to give away. So unless somebody wants this one, if they want this one, then that's a 3rd one I can give away. So email me which one you're interested in. I'll put in the description when this giveaway is over with so that y'all know about it. So y'all don't have to harass me in email no more. So it's funny, like I've did several of these giveaways before. There's times where in some videos, I have a bunch of people asking for them, and it's sometimes that I can't give them away. So again, look, I'm asking y'all to be honest out there. 99% of y'all who are putting this at your house, 99.99% of y'all are not going to need a filter, SAW filter with this. You're not going to need it. But if you live in certain areas, like where mine is with the cell phone tower next to it and stuff, I had to add this. Especially if you're going to request this one from me, you have to use this. But I'm telling y'all, this one with the LNA, with a separate amp, with a separate filter, does just as well, if not better, than what this one is. However, this one's $44, or $45 or something like that in a complete package. One thing. This one is $40 plus the filter for $12, $15, plus the LNA for $15, $20. It gets a little more expensive. So I'm rambling on. Gotta get this video done. I want to get it out. This is hot, important news. For those of y'all who are new, please subscribe to my channel, and thank y'all for coming by. And hopefully y'all stick around for more videos. I plan on doing more videos as stuff like this goes on. More videos. I'm looking into 2 or 3 other passive income projects right now. I just need time to do it. I appreciate everybody who's come by. I have very high hopes. None of this is financial advice again, but I have high hopes. This I think I'm more excited about this. To me, this just legitimizes the Wingbits project. There's several. I don't want to make this video. For those who saw my video yesterday, I'm apologizing for how rude I got at the beginning. Y'all know I can't stand scammers, but I ate a Snickers and I'm better. But yesterday was rough, and I apologize for those people. But those of y'all who have followed me, who I appreciate, and there's several y'all who have followed me since last a year ago, over a year ago now, 14, 15 months, who know what y'all have been through and I have been through with that other project. I think that's why this for me, I don't know, this is going to be weird, but for me, I'm more excited because to me, this legitimizes these guys, this project, and all the sweating that I've been doing and going crazy setting these devices up. GEODNET is not going to team up with these gentlemen, this project, if it's not legit. And that should make you sleep a little better tonight than more than anything else. Yes, for the project itself, we should be excited for that, because this partnership is going to help that out. It's going to help GEODNET out. It's going to help Wingbits out. But for me and all the stuff that I had to eat over and listen from people, and now I'm pushing them onto Wingbits, GEODNET. I've been talking about them on my Mondays and stuff. It just feels better right there. Also, we've been waiting for this, and next thing, I think this is gonna be my peak of my excitement until mainnet. When I see wings on some CEXs, we made it. We made it. And trust me, I'll be doing videos with party streamers when that happens, because a lot of us struggled to get to this point, and we all deserve it. We all deserve it. Wingbits deserves it, because I know they've been busting their butts. That's it. Thank y'all for watching. Can't wait to see y'all in the next video. Sooner or later, I'll start doing some lives again on Thursdays, but I don't know. One day. I know a couple of y'all are asking for it. I'm not ignoring y'all. We'll see. Thank y'all for watching. See y'all in the next video.